only got one hand. That sucks. Wait, why is it like that? Why can't I... This is the left move controller of motion. Yeah. Are you kidding? Hold on. I in the UK put this in here. I hate these earbuds. They don't stay on. My ears are clean. Is that the problem? Isn't it? Where's my hand? I only have one. I only have one hand. Why? Why can't I touch that? I should be... Bloody... Freaking hell. Can't. Thank you. Can I just... Can you...
Truth is the
Yes!
enemy of happiness. Isn't that the decision we all made?
Oh. But you know the truth, don't you?
Let's put another one in.
I can tell you that you don't already know. Is there?
Have you had your joy, Ollie?
People in town are getting a tad bit skinny. I think they're starving to death. And they're painting the streets in fucking rainbows.
Story
Have you
trailer.
not noticed?
Oh, Ollie.
Why are you all wearing those ridiculous new masks?
You should get one. They shape your face into a smile. And when you smile, you can't help being happy.
We
Creepy.
have to tell people. They need to know the truth.
No! It's better not to know.
Creepy.
And it's another fabulous day in Wellington Wells. Do what you should be doing, and you never have to worry.
Sally?
Arthur, we're practically the only two people in this entire city not stoned out of our minds on joy.
It's not a lovely day for it. It's a fucking terrible day for it.
If you force people to have the emotions you want, then you've turned them into robots made out of meat.
Where is it? Where's the blackberry?
You've gone too far this time.
La 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 la
People
la
won't
la.
face facts. Not until we take their joy. And when we do that, they'll murder each other in the street.
Huh. Oh, I never had it. Wait. How come I'm having a problem reach? Hold on. Can I? Oops. What? Now it's possible to reach further. The thing didn't have room to scan it. Yes. Game in VR? Yo, fuck off. Fuck off with your bloody happy joy, your bloody fucking shit.
Hello. Welcome to today's edition of Humor Hour, the show where you tell me jokes. Well, actually, I tell the jokes, but you send them in. And the first joke comes from Mr. Prentice Gibson of Claverton Down. Mr. Gibson says, what do you call three downers at the bottom of the sea?
A downer.
Not enough downers.
It's a Debbie Downer. It's a bloody Debbie Downer.
Very good. We're starting off very strong today, aren't we? This one is from Brian E. Ditton of Collier's Lane. What's the difference between a downer and a trampoline? You take off your shoes before you jump on a trampoline. How true! How very true! I mean, you don't want to damage a perfectly good trampoline, do you? Very good indeed. This is from Mrs. Jemima Hughes of Coronation Avenue.
Coronation?
And a joke is, if you see
It's
a drowning downer, what do you throw him? I don't know, a brick? An anvil? Well, no, you can't very well throw an anvil, can you? What about a grenade? No. Who has grenades these days? Answer, another downer! I told you it was good. That's wonderful. It's very good. You see, they both drown. And here's another one. How do you save a drowning downer? Answer, who cares?
Because he's a downer.
Very good. Lovely jokes. Lovely jokes today. Very funny indeed. And here's one from, not that one, no, this one here. It's from Clive Pritchard of Sladebrook Road.
What?
Mr. Pritchard.
Are these based on real streets in UK?
Question. How is a puppy like a mortally wounded downer? Answer. Eventually they'll both stop whining. Oh, Mr. Pritchard, you're quite the character, aren't you?
My hand is big.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
I miss my dog.
Why's my hand so big?
What am I saying? I don't miss anything at all. I've got it all right here.
You just...
Let's see what else we've got.
Was that a real life joy?
We have something from
like a
our
jelly
dear
bean.
friend and faithful contributor, Mr. Persky Blackyang.
The Joker.
Yes, as you can tell from his name, Mr. Blackyang isn't actually a real Englishman. He's an Afrikaner from South Africa, but he's doing his patriotic best to fit in. So, what do you have for us today, Mr. Blackyang? Question: how is a downer like an apple? Answer: they both look good hanging from a tree. I'm not sure I get it. Oh, I see.
Hanging upside down.
Hanging from a tree.
Like a downer.
Here's another one.
Upside
What's the difference
downer.
between a downer and a black plague? Well, one is a deadly organism that can destroy an entire city, and the other is a bacterium. Oh, very good. Well,
I don't
it's going
get
to
that
be
one.
hard to top that one, but we must slog on, eh? It's one of our greatest English virtues. I have one here from
Greatest
Mr.
English
Thomas Hensley
virtues.
of Longbottom Circle. What have you got for us, Mr. Hensley? Question: why do we bury downers 20 feet underground? Answer: because deep down.
Well,
I know, right?
They're really nice people. Deep down, yeah.
Deep down.
I think that's the best one of all. It really is. Very good. Remember, no one has to be a downer. But if you feel a bit down, take your joy. And if you see someone who seems a bit down, make sure he takes his joy. It's as simple as that. Happiness is a choice. And those who won't choose it are a threat to the rest of us. If you hear a good joke, please don't hesitate to drop a note marked Humour Hour at our studio, 2 Marlborough House in central Wellington Wells. Yes, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in again next time for the best in
LOL.
humour. See you soon.
Oh, this headset. What the hell? Okay. I really need to find my other earbuds. Just keep slipping off my ear. Can you... Come on! Breast off? That vision going blank?
What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything. You're just hearing things. Or no. You're seeing things. Yeah. It's called Frisbee. Curse these virtual hands. Piss off. Piss off. F your disc. Tapes. That's what I dig about your disc tapes. It's like a backdrop with music. That's all it was. That's all it was. The last one, as far as I can tell. What the? Oh.
And it's another fabulous day in Wellington Wells. The sun is up, and the weather is overcast and only slightly rainy, with occasional patches of lovely sunshine. Wakey, wakey, everyone.
Eat this.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you.
Fuck off.
Good
I'm
morning,
sharing this on my amino.
friends. Good morning to you.
Okay. Fuck off!
Well, I hope you all had a lovely night's sleep with lovely dreams.
Fuck you!
It's shaping up to be a wonderful morning.
Shut up!
And I think I can promise you.
Yes,
that
I
it's just going to
got
get
him in
better
the
all through
noggin.
the day. We all forget things from time to time.
Oh yeah.
So don't forget the most important thing.
Wah.
Is it your tea?
Wah.
Is it your muesli?
Wah.
Is it
Wah.
bacon and eggs?
Wah.
Is it toast? Did you forget to butter your toast? No, don't be silly. It's your daily joy. Never forget to take your joy, and I guarantee your day will go swimmingly. So, let's take a look at today's schedule. What's going on in the village of Hamlin? Well, chatting and greeting and smiling and laughing, of course, and breakfast, lunch and dinner, and work.
My earbuds keep slipping
Hope you'll all
out of
take a
my
quick break
ear.
for our daily recreational activity.
I gotta stop
Today
saying
we will
bloody. That's
all
just.
gather around the telly for a rousing round of Simon Says. Well, I won't be gathering around the telly. I'll be in the telly.
There's no
Just
blood.
like every day, I'll be playing it with you. And then there'll be cake and prizes for all winners, and everyone's a winner, and everyone will be there. So don't miss it, or you're a rotten egg. But seriously, unless you have an awfully good reason, such as 2 broken legs, do be a sport at 3 o'clock, won't you? We love your company. And now,
That
the
creepy
hot
smile.
song from our favorite band. See you soon.
He could play like a. He could be a parody of the Joker, just with their painted on mask. He's not really happy. He's putting on a fake smile. Was that from? I don't know which one. Oh yeah, I just opened this. That was this one over here. Sexual. What's sexual in that game?
Wakey, everyone. It's another fabulous day
Sexual.
in Wellington Wells. It's your dear friend, Uncle Jack, with a few brief tips that'll help you get along. The most important
Oh,
one,
this
of
is
course,
like this
don't
game is in
forget
VR.
to take your joy.
Be like,
Drink plenty of water, too. Good thing there's joy in the water, eh? And eat plenty of nutritious food. May I be the first to recommend our local delicacy, V-meat. Of course, be very careful to stay away
Apple
from
is
down.
rotten in real life.
Hey, you should do some scary
Fortunately,
games
most
and
of
put
these
them
sad
on you.
lunatics live in the
I
garden
know,
districts,
right?
and
That'd
no
be
decent
cool.
person goes there.
The fuck?
It's full of dangerous maniacs who won't take their joy.
Good night!
Obey all official signs. They're for your safety and protection. Make friends with your fellow citizens. Talk to them.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Visit them. Wellies love a friendly guest. We Wellies do love our games. It's important to stay young at heart. So use our playgrounds.
This is a horror game.
We don't. Who on earth will? Obey police officers. They're there to protect you. Remember, they're the only ones who are supposed to be out at night. Wellington Wells is always a delightful place. If you just do like everyone else is doing and take your joy, you'll have a splendid time. And if you don't...
One less mouth to feed, eh? I think that's the best one of all. Very good.
What a bunch of wackadoos. Nope. Oh my god damn hands. I will think about that though. Play more horror games. I do hope they make more horror games for VR because I'm starting to like that. As long as I have 2 motion controllers. I don't want to go to bed.
Well,
This is still
getting late, isn't it?
there.
And it's time for all good wellies.
It's not
to have
late.
nothing there.
It's
You don't want to be out after dark. Foggy Jack might come for you.
it's
And then where would you
5:07 p.m. That's not even dark.
Several places at once, wouldn't you?
You're bloody stupid.
Would you like me to read you a bedtime story?
No.
Of course you would.
No.
Well, curl up in front of the telly, and Uncle Jack will tell you a story.
Jack Skeleton, my ass.
Tonight's story is called Hansel and Gretel.
Oh no, this.
Once upon a time there lived a poor woodcutter and his wife and his two aged parents. The old man's name was Hansel and the old woman's name was Gretel. There was little to eat, and when a hard winter came across the land, so hard that the wolves prowled the crossroads at night,
Suck on
the
that.
woodcutter could no longer feed his parents. He lay in bed with his wife, and they discussed what to do. The woodcutter's wife said, "Here's what we do, Liebling. We will lead them deep into the woods, yeah? To gather the firewood, okay? And then we will trick them, and we will leave them there. And naturally, they will not break the both of us." For you see, they were not her parents, and they didn't particularly like her. Now at first the woodcutter said, "Well, I don't know, maybe I should leave you in the woods instead." But his wife said, "Oh, it's a funny man. No, they're old and they do not work anymore, okay?"
They're
The
German?
woodcutter had to admit, she had a point. What the woodcutter did not know was that his parents had overheard the entire conversation, for they had very good hearing for old people, and they'd not been sleeping well. And Hansel said to Gretel, "Our son's going to leave us in the woods to starve. What shall we do?" Gretel said, "Let us gather bright pebbles by the light of the moon." The next day at dawn, the woodcutter and his wife led his parents deep, deep into the woods, deeper than they'd ever gone to cut firewood. The wife made a fire for them and said, "Rest by the fire while we chop some wood." And soon enough, they heard the sound of chopping. Hansel and Gretel thought perhaps their son had not left them after all. But late in the evening, the wind died down, and so did the sound of chopping. For it was only a branch that the woodcutter had rigged to bang against a tree in the wind. But Hansel and Gretel, they dropped bright pebbles all along the path into the woods, and they were able to follow them all the way back to the woodcutter's house, which had been their house when they raised him. When they came to the door, the woodcutter's wife, well, she was alarmed to see them. "You wicked people! Your son has been crying ever since you left him. He thought you do not want to come back."
Oh, they're German or French?
Now the woodcutter told his wife, "It's a gift from God. We don't have to leave my parents in the woods after all." "Oh, you fool! Idiot!" said the woodcutter's wife. "Do we have more bread heute Abend than we did yesterday?" And the woodcutter had already agreed once to abandon his parents, so he didn't really have a leg to stand on, did he? So he agreed to lead them out into the woods the next morning. That night, Hansel went to gather bright pebbles by
How
the
many
light of the
people are
moon,
watching the stream?
but the woodcutter's wife had locked the door, so he couldn't gather any. In the morning,
Views.
Hansel begged his son for a crust of bread to eat on the forest path, but he did not eat it. Instead, as his son led him deep into the woods, he broke off small bits and dropped them on the forest path. All along the way, Hansel spoke to his son of happier days, when they both had been young and the land was fat. He was hoping to soften his son's heart, and the woodcutter, well, he smiled and nodded. But when you're going to kill a man, it costs nothing to be polite. And again, the woodcutter's wife made them a fire and made them lie down and rest by it, while the woodcutter and his wife went into the forest to chop wood. But they heard no branch banging against a tree, for the time was past for pretenses. Hansel said to Gretel, "Let us find our way home before night falls, because it's very cold and they're not coming back for us." And I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. We'll have to continue this delightful story tomorrow night. Did Hansel and Gretel find their way home? And did the woodcutter welcome them back? And did they all live happily ever after? I hope not. What kind of fairy tale do you think this is? Tune in tomorrow to find out.
You're a psychopath. I hear you.
Everyone is talking about the shocking thing that happened yesterday. You know what I'm talking about. I have it on good authority that it was not at all what you might have thought it was. And in any event, the responsible parties are taking steps to make
fudge.
sure it never happens again. In the meantime, keep calm and carry on. And don't forget to take your joy. And the weather report is rain, rain, go away, come back again some other day. Remember, gentlemen, while rainwater goes down smooth in a whiskey, it does not contain joy. So, if you like to collect rainwater for tempering your constitutional, please remember to adjust your dose accordingly. And the weather is delightfully sunny, inside and out. Who doesn't love an English spring? I expect to see nothing but smiles out there. In fact, anything but smiles out there is strictly forbidden. Also, extremely unlikely, unless someone's happy face falls off. Can you imagine that? Better make sure it's not you.
You're creepy.
In case you might have heard a loud explosion coming from the general direction of the Victory Memorial Camp, don't worry, it wasn't someone blowing themselves up on the minefield. It was merely the members of the Home Army testing their ordnance. Mortar shells apparently don't last forever, and there's nothing more frustrating than dropping a shell on the enemy and it turning out to be a dud. So they must regularly test their supplies. That's all it was. No fatalities at all, and no worries. You may have noticed one of our favourite shops boarded up. There's no need to worry. We're told the proprietor, you know who I'm talking about, is renovating, and he doesn't want anyone to see it until it's done. At least that's what he says. I suspect he may simply have gone on holidays and doesn't want us to know. So if you notice a certain person comes back to Earth looking remarkably well rested, we'll know the truth, won't we? Our local football team has done it again. A thrilling victory over some tough rivals. You've never seen such exciting footwork. And they really use their heads. Of course, it's nothing less than we expect from our finest. If you see them, do buy them a pint for me. I'm sorry to say tomorrow's cricket match has been postponed due to uncertain weather. We can't very well play cricket in a typhoon, so we'll let you know the revised schedule as soon as we receive the details. In Hamelin, our favourite butcher shop has a very special today. Is it pork chops? Is it pepperoni? Is it filet mignon? Is it roast chicken? Or is it just several cases of fresh, delicious V-meat? Now that I've got your mouth watering, well, I'm not going to tell you what it is. You'll have to go visit yourself. And do give your favourite butcher my regards. No one slices like he does. There has been some confusion about the pass required to enter the city centre of Wellington Wells. To obtain your pass, you simply need to present yourself in person with a recent photograph and a typed explanation of your purpose at the Department of Public Order. Simple, isn't it?
Boop.
That's all you have to do. The department is located at 5 Wapping Road, near the corner of Bath Street, in the centre of Wellington Wells. I hope that clarifies everything. There has been some excitement at the Victory Memorial Camp. An unauthorized person was intercepted attempting to plant tulips around the chain link fence.
Who the fuck
Fortunately,
is
she set off
calling?
all the alarms and was quickly apprehended. Imagine how alarming it would have been
I
if she'd
don't know
not been
these
caught.
people.
Kaboom! Yes. Now, the leadership of the Home Army hastens to remind the public that the Victory Camp and the surrounding relics of our heroic resistance have been preserved in its immediate post-victory state. That means unmarked minefields, and unexploded ordnance every which way. She could have got herself blown up. So don't be a tourist fatality. No one except members of the Home Army in good standing has any purpose in the memorial camp.
Shut up!
And if you want to plant flowers, how about planting them in town where we can all see them? Some viewers have asked me, how can I find out more about the resistance and the victory? Now, I always tell them, why on earth would you want to know more about the war years, their ancient history, and our lives are so much better now? But due to popular demand, we now have a
Full
book
of it.
with all the answers. It's called The Story of Our Victory. And it's written by me, Jack Worthing. It's a lovely little book with
Now
cheery
there's someone at
illustrations
our
and
door.
quotations from all
Be right back. What a strange man.
all your favorite wartime heroes, and it tells you absolutely everything you should ever want to know about the war and our glorious victory. If it's not in the book, you don't need to know it. Some viewers have asked, how do I join the brave soldiers of the Home Army? Now, I've asked the Home Army leadership to respond, and they would like you to know that the Home Army has a full complement of highly trained warriors ready to repel any future invasion by our enemies, or even our friends. So there's no need to join anything. You can just be a patriot by smiling at everyone you meet. Now, go about your day and enjoy our lovely English weather, whatever it is.
I hope to one day.
What was that? Oh, that's what I mean by views.
You might see someone who
1,
seems to
2,
be
3,
sleeping on the path or
4, 5.
even in the middle of the road. Now, we all know that the middle of the road is not the most comfortable place to sleep, and it's rather inconvenient for the rest of us. We might trip on them. So, what's going on? Well, the first thing to find out is if they're sleeping or if they're just lying there. Are their eyes open? If you shake them, do they make sounds? Let's suppose their eyes are open and they seem responsive to you. There's a possibility that they're feeling too sad to get up. In that case, you're dealing with a downer. And we all know what to do with a downer, don't we? Offer them joy. If they won't take it,
Fuck off.
round up a few people near you and make sure they take it. If their eyes are closed, but they seem responsive,
Fuck off.
then they may be sick. It's probably
What
best
the-
to prop them up in a building and
I didn't
let
do
the
that.
doctor know. You don't want to spend too much time with a sick person. You might get sick too. And doctors know just what to do with sick people, after all. And you don't. But what to do if they don't respond? It's possible that they've passed on. Now, there's no need for you to deal with a dead body on the street. The authorities are fully capable of dealing with any deceased citizens and will properly dispose of their remains. And what you should definitely not do is stand there gawping. You don't want to draw a crowd, and it's not healthy to stare at a dead body. It might bring you down. So just leave the body there and move on. And if you see a lot of people walking past someone in the middle of the street, well, you can safely trust that they've already realized there's nothing further they can do for that person. Just pretend that the person in the street is not there. Aye, sooner or later they won't be. Take it from me, Uncle Jack. What's done is done, and it's best if we all move on. You'll be glad you did.
That's fucked up. Fuck off. Fuck off.
And now it's time for I Hear You, the part of our show where Jack Worthing, that's me, answers your letters and questions about our life in Wellington Wells. And my first letter is from Mrs. Emily Cluley of Falkland Road. Dear Uncle Jack, I adore your show and thank you for answering my question. I have a big Victorian bed that my husband inherited from his grandmum, but most nights he crawls off to sleep in the small bedroom in the small bed we have there. He promises that it's not because I snore, but he won't say why he does, and I'm not sure he even knows. He seems a little sad. What should I do? Dear Emily, may I call you Emily? Your letter is quite touching. You know the answer, don't you? Yes. You see, if he seems a little sad, there's only one possible answer. He's off his joy of it, isn't he? Yes. You must encourage him to take his pills, even if he seems a bit defiant. Take him to a doctor. There's no sense in sleeping in a rickety little bed in a small room when you can sleep in a proper English bed in a proper master bedroom. And quite frankly, even if you did snore, if he's taking his joy, then he should sleep soundly regardless. Just make sure he falls asleep before you do, and you both should be fine. Thank you for writing, Emily, and do keep me posted about your progress. Well, that's a bit of a dreary letter, wasn't it? I'm sorry. Forget I read it, will you?
Where do I
Let's take a
grab
look
the
at another
key?
one, shall we? This one is from Mrs. Purdy Robbins Handley of Oldfield Park. Dear Uncle Jack, my husband won't take off his happy face at home. He won't even take it off in bed. He's that healthy. He says he has nightmares if he takes it off, but it's a little but it's a little creepy in it. She actually wrote in it. And she says, I mean, he could be anyone. Well, Purdy, are you sure he actually is your husband? Well, you can't be too careful these days, can you? No, but seriously, Purdy, we do what it takes to stay happy, don't we? And the happy mask is scientifically sculpted to keep you happy. You see, when your facial muscles are shaped in a smile, well, you can't help feeling happy. Now, normally, I would suggest you take more joy. But some people do have a slight intolerance to joy. Now, if your husband is one of these people, he may just be doing what he needs in order to keep himself up. Certainly, if he's having nightmares without his happy face, well, why on earth should he sleep without it, when he can sleep with it and not have nightmares? So, come on, have a little conjugal consideration and appreciate his good qualities. Assuming he is, after all, not an imposter. Thank you for writing, Purdy.
That'll be the last time she writes.
This one is from Poppy Findlay of Twerton Manor. Dear Uncle Jack, I have a lovely row of tulips in front of my house. I should say, I used to have, because they're half gone, and I found a great big pile of tulip tops in the rubbish. Has some animal come and eaten half my tulip bulbs? Is it a badger? How can I catch it and eat it? Well, Poppy, I'm sorry to tell you it's extremely unlikely that you have a badger, given that the tulip tops were placed in the rubbish. I think that you might actually be dealing with a hungry human. Did you know that you can eat tulip bulbs? Yes. Actually, there's a fabulous and hilarious story from the Dutch tulip mania of the 1600s. See, there was this sailor who visited a friend of his, and he saw an onion on his table, and he ate it. Now, it turned out to be a rare tulip bulb worth hundreds of guineas. And he ate it. Can you imagine the kerfuffle that he heard? Well, I hope he enjoyed it. Actually, there's no word what happened to the sailor, but I bet he took the next ship out. Hope he wasn't hanged. Yes. Anyway, do you by chance happen to live near the garden district? Sometimes the unfortunate souls who live near there come into the village, and, well, it wouldn't surprise me at all if it was them that ate your tulip bulbs. But I doubt there's anything you could do about it, except watch your remaining flowers and call the police if you see anyone near them. In the meantime, if you could eat tulip bulbs, you could probably eat the tops too with a bit of cooking. Well, it couldn't hurt anyway. Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in again next time, when I hope you'll join us and we'll answer all your questions about life in Wellington Wells. I'll see you soon.
Is this his hand? Swan. Bum, 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 bum. Use key to... How? Oh. There's the mask. That's a weird chair. Is that lava lamp frozen? What the... Do I need to play the game to have the key? Do I need to play the game to have the key? Do I need to play the game to have the key? Do I need to have the game to play the key? I mean, have the key play the game to have the key? Because I have no key. What? Okay. Let's watch some more. Boring. It's just music tapes. Music in the game.
Summer, that's when I came along. side, like the way it begun.
Is this a horror game?
It's we a happy few. It's not for the faint of heart. It's very creepy in the actual full game. But until I'm able to play the full game, I need another controller hasn't arrived yet from Amazon. I got a controller from Amazon, and it has not arrived. So I can have two hands instead of one. What the hell is that?
Laughing subbing.
Am I on an acid trip? Ow, my face. What? That was... Did it? What happened? Yeah. What the hell? I want that mask. I want that mask. Next. Happy Rainbow. Happy I didn't do that. Is that short? Okay.
Oh, heavens no.
The joy got taken away from him. This is horror. This guy says joy.
I should just take my joy, shouldn't I? Percy! Percy!
What have you been up to? No one's seen you for hours.
Oh, nose to the grindstone, you know.
Then why haven't I heard a single whoosh through the door since 10 o'clock? Did you forget we're having Deirdre's birthday party?
Oh.
We've got a piñata.
Right. Brilliant. Of course.
Have you forgotten your joy?
Of course not. Snug as a bug on a drug.
Well, come on then, finish up.
Snug as a bug
Just
on
have
a
few more
drug.
pages. I know you're very busy.
Then don't take too long to finish. Well, I expect you in the conference room presently. Don't dawdle. You don't want to miss the piñata.
Piñata.
Wasn't Prudence supposed to be coming back today? I made her a welcome back card. Do you think the canister wonders what life's like outside the tube?
Gameplay.
Of course, he'd have to break the tube to get out. That would break it for everybody.
Okay, sound is working.
You're not coming back, are you, Prue? But where did she go? We seem to be a bit behind in our work.
Just ask a doctor and he'll fix you right up. Even if you've got to ask. But look, there are some things that
That's not
There
a
you are.
real
You
piñata.
nearly missed the piñata. It's the most adorable Spanish custom. Uncle Jack did a whole show about it.
Look
You
at this.
Smash it until all the candy comes out.
Horror.
Come on.
In 3,
Hit it. Hit it.
2,
Hit it.
1.
Hit it. Hit it.
Blood. Oh god.
You are off your joy. Take one of mine.
Debbie Downer.
Oh my lord. He's a downer. Call security. We've got a downer.
Horror. If that answers your question, if it's a horror game, it is. Are you? Come on. As long as we are true.
As long as we are true, the sun shines out the blue. As long as we are true, the stars come into view. As long
So this is all just music.
What?
This is like LSD. LSD. Joy makes things colorful. The equivalent of taking and smoking weed. LSD pills are sweet. Where's my dirty glasses? I can't find my dirty glasses. Wanting to experiment. Okay, that was a weird short noise musical. I guess little music bits that was used in the game.
Well, hello there. What exactly are you doing? Yes,
Fuck off.
you there. This is Uncle Jack talking directly to you.
I don't care.
Are you where you belong right now? Are you supposed to be doing that?
Yeah.
These are very important questions for all of us. As patriotic citizens of Wellington Wells, it's not enough to just look out for yourself. We all have to look out for each other. And that means asking ourselves these questions every day.
No.
Are we where we're supposed to be?
Nope.
Are we doing what we're supposed to be doing?
Nope.
For if we're all doing our duty, will we preserve and thrive into the future? You never can be too careful. Take it from me, Jack Worthing. Stay where you belong and do what you should be doing, and you never have to worry.
I'll hear this music in another time.
And now it's time
Into
for
videos.
I Hear You, the show where Jack Worthing, that's me, answers your letters and questions about our life in beautiful Wellington Wells. This one is from Richard Starkey of Biddleston Road. Dear Uncle Jack, is it true there are blind albino mole people living beneath our fair city? That's what my friends say. I thought I saw one too, but I wasn't sure, as we'd all had a bit too much to drink, and my memory, of course, is a bit fuzzy. Dear Richard, of course there aren't mole people. This isn't London. There are no ancient catacombs or old bomb shelters underneath our streets, and of course the Wellington Under is completely blocked up.
Human beings have not suddenly grown claws to make their own tunnels through the dirt, thank goodness. What an imagination your friend has. Now, of course, there are the poor benighted wastrels in the garden district, which is reason enough not to go there if you needed a reason. Not to mention the unexploded bombs, the rusty scraps of metal, and holes that you can fall into. And I don't need to tell you about how dangerous it is outside the walls. I wouldn't even think about going there. But you can be perfectly sure that absolutely no one is moving around underneath the pavement. Well, I'm glad that's settled. This one is from John Lydon of Benwell Road. Dear Jack. Well, I guess he isn't the sort of fellow to cry uncle, Mr. Lydon?
Score.
Dear Jack, there's a stranger in my house who looks just like my wife. And she says she's my wife, too. What has been done with my real wife, and who did this to me? Your help is much appreciated in this matter. Well, it looks like Mr. Lydon has been experiencing one of the odd side effects of joy. Now, it does happen from time to time. It's called capgras delusion, and it's not unheard of. Mr. Lydon, if you're listening, go see a doctor. They may be able to adjust your dose or give you an analog. And if anyone who's listening that actually knows Mr. Lydon, who lives on Benwell Road, do inform a nearby doctor that Mr. Lydon might need a visit. I'm sure everything will come out roses. And remember, by the way, don't hesitate to go see your doctor if you need any medical attention. They'll fix up that cut right away. They always check your joy level and make sure that it's where it should be.
Doctors.
Good.
Yes.
This one is from Edwin Powell of Hoylake. Dear Mr. Worthing. Oh, Edwin. Let's be friends, shall we?
Yes.
I'm just going to edit this one a bit. Dear Uncle Jack, I was cleaning out my garage and I came up with a big pile of newspapers from the war. Yes, well, I'm not going to read the rest of this letter because I know exactly what you should do. What do you do with a bunch of old newspaper? Well, it's the perfect thing to use to light a fire in your fireplace. The older and drier the paper, the better. Now, I wouldn't recommend using it to wrap fish. First of all, because, well, I haven't seen a fish in years. And second, because you're not a fish shop. And third of all, the paper does get a bit crumbly and you don't want that on your food. So just burn it all up on a cold night and you'll be glad you did. Yes, what a strange bunch of letters we have today. I'm wondering if we ought to quit while we're ahead. All right, we'll give it one more go, shall we? Ah, it smells like roses. Dear Uncle Jack. Yes. What am I to know it from? This is a... Take another whiff. Yeah, it's definitely rose. I wasn't mistaken. It's from Susan Jane Ballion of Chislehurst Vicarage. And she writes, Dear Uncle Jack, I keep getting lost in my own neighborhood. I've lived there all my life, but lately it seems like they're moving the buildings around on me. It's most disconcerting. I'm not old or anything, and I haven't been hit on the head. At least not that I remember. They're not actually moving the buildings, are they? That's what she asked. Dear Susie. May I call you Susie? I think it suits you. Dear Susie, I'm glad to say that you clearly are taking your joy. And joy is what helps us forget the past and move into the radiant future. And getting lost is just a mild side effect. Fortunately, there's an easy solution. Carry a map. Actually, in fact, carry one in each pocket. That way you don't have to remember which pocket your map is in. You know, I'm so delighted when I can so easily help a listener. And here we are. Yes, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in again tomorrow for more advice and news from our listeners and watchers. This is Jack Worthing saying cheerio and on with your day. See you soon. And now it's time for
Two of
Famous
them.
Britons, the show in which Jack Worthing, that's me, interviews some of our more celebrated countrymen from history. Now today we have in our studio Her Majesty Queen Mary, fondly known to history as Bloody Mary, for massacring Protestants and marrying a Spaniard.
And don't confuse me with Mary Queen of Scots either. I'll be very cross.
Ah, no, of course not, Your Majesty.
She was an idiot.
And your sister Elizabeth had her beheaded, didn't she?
Jack, that Vixen Elizabeth. Do you know, I should
Their
have had her
mask
head
is
cut off.
molded
But I
into their
didn't,
face.
Because I'm a kind and merciful person.
That's a guy.
By the way, Jack, are you Catholic?
Actually, I'm Anglican, like most people here.
Oh dear. I think we better put you down for a beheading.
After the interview, perhaps?
You could convert.
That sounds much more jolly.
Oh dear.
You sound disappointed.
Well, Jack, you've no idea how
That's
a
him.
good beheading can cheer one.
Well, I
think.
don't know about that. You tried joy?
Joy? What's that?
Well, it's this marvelous pill that makes you forget all the bad things and feel wonderful about everything else.
Jack, what rubbish. What kind of queen is happy all the time? Do you know, the few times I was happy, I barely cut anyone's head off at all.
Well, surely there's more to life than just beheading people.
Well, we did try beheading goats for a while, but, well, it wasn't quite the same, was it?
Well, what about fun and family and love?
I'm married to King Philip of Spain.
Ah, well, you're in a bit of a jam then, aren't you?
Fortunately, I'm dead.
Well, that is one way to solve one's problems, isn't it?
Jack's been lovely chatting, but I really must be off. Someone's saying my name 3 times into a mirror.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Her Majesty Queen Mary. If only she'd had joy, she might not have beheaded quite so many people. Now ask your doctor if joy is right for you. Of course it is. Next week on Famous Britons, I'll be interviewing St. Thomas a Becket. I hear he's turbulent. Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in later for more Uncle Jack.
Oh, God. I think I'm going blind. Let's do something different.
Oh dear. That sounds like the ventilator's a bit off. Shame. It sent a lovely whiff of joy into the air. Terribly sorry about the telly in there. People keep stepping on the cable. Oh. We're back again. Hello there. You must be the winner of the Uncle Jack Fan Club's Get to Know Jack contest. At least I hope you are. Well, the bobbies at the front door have been very sloppy indeed. As you know, I'm Uncle Jack, and I'm always happy to meet my fans, especially if they can help me. Over on your right, you'll see the news feeding machine. That's how you feed me the news stories I'm supposed to read. To your right. Your right. You'll see 3 news stories to choose from. Do try to give me a happy one, won't you? Some of the writers get a little mischievous.
Fuck 'em.
You can only feed me news after I finish reading the preview story. The machine will light up to tell you when to send me more. Isn't technology wonderful? You'll have to wait for me to finish the story I'm reading before you send me another one. You wouldn't want me to get muddled, would you? No, of course not. Just press the send button below the news story you want and whoosh, it will magically appear on my teleprompter. Be sure to hit the send button, otherwise I won't get the news story. Oh dear, you didn't send me any news stories. Please send news, or I shall have to do magic tricks, and I don't know any. On in 5, 4,
3. And now it's time for the Good News Hour with Uncle Jack. Hey, that's me, Jack Worthing. I'll give you all the news you need to start your afternoon with a smile. Feel free. Anytime. Well, I don't know. I suppose we could... Well, why not? I suppose I could tell you yesterday's news again. With joy. Well, who can even remember what happened yesterday, eh? Let me think. Oh, yes. There was a large shipment of food delivered, and, well, it's a big pie-eating contest on the village green, and everybody got so full that their ribs squeaked. Do you remember the constables? Well, the constables were delighted to report that there was absolutely no crime. Yes. What a lovely day that was. And I'm sure today will be just as joyous. Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Yes. Well, and none too soon for our producer today. Well, I suppose not everybody can be even slightly competent, can they? Perhaps they can come back an opposite day, since they do everything exactly the opposite of what they're supposed to do. Ha ha ha! Goodbye and good luck. You'll need it. Yes.
Damn, someone has an attitude. Uh-oh. I'm doomed.
Well, wasn't that exciting? I do wish you could be here, dear viewers. Well, it looks like somebody's having a party at the visitors' gallery. There are so many happy, excited people there. So many. Perhaps somebody ought to check in and, well, make sure that they're not breaking anything. People tend to get carried away sometimes, don't they? Do you know what makes a party even better? Why, joy, of course. Yes, I bet we'd all have an even better time if somebody would just flood the visitors' gallery. Oh, surely. Nice to hear that lovely joy, guys. All the way to the shore. Now you're me. Under your smile. No one really wants that anymore,
Don't be afraid, all you gotta do is run. 'Cause when we were young, you're just a child, and we start to. All we do is smile. Let's try a stranger on for a while. Something could change for a brand new start. Hide all the raindrops under your tongue. They're only tears. There's nothing to fear.
Let's try that again. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Oh dear. That sounds like the ventilator's a bit off. Shame. It sent a lovely whiff of joy into the air. Terribly sorry about the telly in there. People keep stepping on the cable. Oh. We're back again. Hello there. You must be the winner of the Uncle Jack Fan Club's Get to Know Jack contest. At least I hope you are. Well, the bobbies at the front door have been very sloppy indeed. As you know, I'm Uncle Jack, and I'm always happy to meet my fans, especially if they can help me. Over on your right, you'll see the news feeding machine. That's how you feed me the news stories I'm supposed to read. To your right. Your right. You'll see 3 news stories to choose from. Do try to give me a happy one, won't you? Sometimes the writers get a little mischievous. You can only feed me news after I finish reading the preview story. The machine will light up to tell you when to send me more. Isn't technology wonderful? You'll have to wait for me to finish the story I'm reading before you send me another one. You wouldn't want me to get muddled, would you? No, of course not. Oh, splendid. I'm sure you'll do a smashing job producing my show today. And just remember that we only want you to see good news. Fortunately, all the news that writes about is good. Here we go. On in 5, 4, 3.
And now for the Good News Hour with Uncle Jack. That's me, Jack Worthing. I'll give you all the good news you need to start your day with a smile. Some people have noticed that the happier they get, the less they can do. If this is you, not to worry. You're just overdosing on joy. When you've had a little too much joy, about all you can really do is laugh and skip and run and play and wait till your joy comes down to a normal level. In the meantime, enjoy the pink chimney smoke and the lovely music that alarms make when they go off. And the jolly laughs that the bobbies make when they're protecting us from downers. Next item. Anytime. Have you ever wondered what life will be like in the future? Well, the Department of Science and Research is mounting a free exhibition that imagines what Wellington Wells will be like 20 years in the future, called the House of the Future. Scientists have dreamt up some wonderful inventions, and apparently there will be rides and cake. Why, 1984. Gosh, it's hard to imagine that 1984 will be anything like the Wellington Wells of today. It'll be even better. But I do hope I'll still be on your tellies every day. I hope you didn't miss the excitement at Simon Says this week. Our weekly competition was, well, it was just reaching fever pitch when alert Hamiltonians noted a squad of wastrels from over the bridge attempting to burgle a house. Yeah, well, the hue and cry went up and the entire village chased these malcontents into the river. Alas, nobody could remember who was still playing, but, well, wasn't everybody a winner? Another card. Yes, next item.
Oh, fuck.
Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Yes. Well, and none too soon for our producer today. Well, I suppose not everybody can be even slightly competent, can they? Perhaps they can come back an opposite day, since they do everything exactly the opposite of what they're supposed to do. Ha ha ha! Goodbye and good luck. You'll need it. Yes.
Well, wasn't that exciting? I do wish you could be here, dear viewers. Well, it looks like somebody's having a party in the visitors' gallery. There are so many happy, excited people there. So many.
Perhaps somebody ought to check in and, well, make sure that they're not breaking anything? People tend to get carried away sometimes, don't they?
Oh, he gets pissed off easily
You know
when
what
I
makes a party even
press
better?
it.
Why,
Stupid
joy,
button.
of course. Yes, I bet we'd all have an even better time if somebody would just flood the visitors' gallery with joy, right? You can never be too careful. Any time now? Yes, just fire up the old ventilation system and spread the joy all around. Just like old Scrooge at Christmas. Yeah. And wouldn't we all love a nice Christmas turkey about now? You know, almost anything to be a Christmas turkey with enough joy. Seriously, if somebody would just do whatever it is that you do to turn on the joy in the ventilators. What's the... Nice to hear that lovely joy, guys.
I didn't do anything.
Under your smile. Don't be afraid, all you gotta do is run. 'Cause when we were young, we just a child, and we start to all we do is smile.
PlayStation.
Let's try and
PlayStation.
something could change for a brand new start. Hide all the raindrops under your tongue. They're only tears. There's nothing to
Well, I'm bored. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. I'm gonna check some other VR related stuff now. On air. Ho ho. Oh. Oh.